Morning is here. Morning is here. I need warmer blankets. I did remember that I've got my Udi. It's got little Grogu's all over it. See Grogu's? There's Grogu. Except when I got it, he was still called Baby Yoda. I was sent this as like a promotional thing. They said, hey, we'll send you a free one of these if you wear it on stream a couple of times on Twitch. I'm like, yeah, all right. For about, I don't know, a couple of years, I've had this rolled up in a little tube servicing as a pillow because I just haven't needed it. The place I was in was it's fine. I didn't need it. But yeah, this is big. This is one of those wearable blanket kind of things. It's all this really nice fleece. So this helped keep me warmish last night, or at least not shivering. Also, that little ring light there, that is a little cheapo Amazon phone light for video phone thing. It's got a magnetic ring on the back to slap on the back of the iPhone things. I realized I could just slam it on the side on the wall of the van, and it's a nice little interior light I've got going at the moment. And you can even change the color temperature, so we can go cool and blue or warm and comforting, and of course we can change the brightness of it. So that's my interior lighting solved for the moment. Last couple of nights I've been using the torch thing on the iPhone, which is not ideal when it's dark in here. So did not sleep well. Very, very, very restless night. Cold, very cold, windy, but quiet. Much quieter than the previous night's sleep was on the side of a road, and every now and again a car would go by and rock the van a bit because they were going by fast. So yeah, waking up the campsite. The first thing I'm going to do is visit the amenities block, refresh myself, and have a nice hot shower. Then I'm going to go have some coffee, maybe some of those the breakfast cookie things that I got yesterday. As for today, not sure where I'm going to be going. Today definitely need a thicker blanket because this hardly counts as a blanket, and this is a very thin fleece blanket. So I need a thicker blanket because this thing helps with the arms and the head, helps keep the heat in there. My hands are still cold, but my feet and my legs down at with only the help of the blanket is not good enough. I need a better blanket so I can have a better chance of actually sleeping properly. So, good morning. Morning. Shit shower, coffee, decisions. That's the plan. Whew, chilly. Look what I found. Some cute little galahs out for their morning snackaroos. Right then, all went smoothly for my morning. Coffee was good. I haven't had any breakfast yet because someone, you know who you are, sent me $10 and said, hey, go get some hot breakfast. So, all right, I'll do that. No worries at all. Would be delighted to go get some hot breakfast. So open Google Maps. I'm looking for like a Big W or Kmart or something to go find some warm blanket time. And just before I took off, I did my car checks, which you people do that, right? You check Anyway, I found out that at some point yesterday, my driver's side right blinker at the corner, at headlight, don't work no more. Like the one on the side panel still works, that's fine, but I have to replace this. Otherwise, I don't want to get pulled over and hassled and stuff. So Bunnings was nearby, a different Bunnings than one we went to yesterday. So I'll have a look and see if they've got some different solar panels on the shelf or something. But yeah, they should have this. Pretty standard globe. It'll be fine. Then Kmart, and I think the Kmart I'm heading towards is part of a shopping complex, so I might be able to get some hot breakfast there. But yeah, not a very exciting start to the day. I did accidentally drive out the wrong way from the campgrounds, but the owner was very lovely about it. I'm sure it wasn't the first time it happened. But yeah, I sat in the kitchenette area thing for about an hour and a half, recharged my devices, answered some good comments on today's video, or yesterday's video by the time you see this, and hang out in the Discord for a bit, because yeah. Anyway, wish me luck going into Bunnings, globe hunting, and there was something else and I've forgotten what it is already. I need to start writing stuff down when I think of it. Still learning by doing. I'm still on the adventure of learning by doing at this point, still getting set up. But, we're getting closer every day to sort of a sustainable place, I guess. So, all you regulars out there are used to me being technically competent. I know lots about PCs and consoles and gaming and camera gear and lenses and numerous bits and pieces of electronic type stuff. I'm not, however, much of a car guy. A little bit more of a motorcycle guy than I'm a car guy. But I now have 2 spare headlight globes for this car, which is fine. I'm sure they'll come in handy sooner or later. It's only like $7, so it's always good to have spares. That's fine. What I don't have yet is a replacement for the actual globe that blew, which would be this one. I should have guessed because the thing I pulled out wasn't orange in the first place. I thought, well, there must be a lens in front of the bulb to make it orange. I wasn't paying attention. It was first thing this morning. I'd literally had 1 coffee and woken up. I still haven't had breakfast. I want breakfast. I'll have to get breakfast on the way. But now I have the correct globe. I've never seen this before, but the bayonet mounting is cantilevered. They're not opposed. They're slightly at an angle to each other. By the way, V-dubs, I don't know how common this is because, again, not a car guy, but the way you replace the globes is they're not wired in the back or anything. They're in this little holster that the globe goes in, and then the holster clicks into the back of the headlight thing, the component. It makes it really, really easy to pull out the globes and replace. Last time I had to do that was many, many years ago, and it was much more of a fuss. So, yeah, I don't know how common that is these days, or if it's just a V-dub thing, but I like it. So, I've now Googled this particular globe. I know where I can get it. I have to go to a place called Super Cheap Auto, which I wanted to go to anyway, because I wanted to check them for solar panels and stuff, because I haven't been to a car specialist place for that kind of stuff yet, and who knows what other outdoorsy car/camping kind of stuff they might have. It's worth a look around. But it is a bit of a drive away. I'm not exactly in the boondocks, as it were, but I'm starting to get into the part of Australia where, unlike Sydney, where everything is within walking distance almost, or at least a train, I don't have access to all the stores in any given location, so I have to drive to basically the next town, next city that has a Super Cheap Auto. But that's fine. I should double check whether they've got a Kmart or a Big W or some sort of department store for blankets as well. Thank you, by the way, to the person who donated money and earmarked it for blankets. Now I can get some nice blankets because they were very generous. Thank you for that. And I might stay in the next place too, because there is supposedly a nice free campground that's worth looking at as well. And again, this is part of learn by doing exploration. I've, slept stealth on the street. Last night I slept at a proper campground, pay to stay, with all the facilities and stuff. So tonight I'm going to see if I can find a free campground, a place that's, supposed to be camped at. It's put aside, you're not going to get in trouble knocking on the windows and stuff if you're seen camping there. But there probably won't be any facilities. There might be a toilet, maybe some fresh water, but there definitely won't be shower blocks and stuff. This is a place for backpackers to pull up and throw up a tent for the night, that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that if and when we get there. Right now, though, the journey for an indicator lamp continues. Excuse the bad camera angle. I'm not going to fiddle with my phone while I'm driving. I just flick to the camera app and hit record. I just had to share. I just got pulled over by the coppers. Wasn't anything I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was right. It was just a rando breath test thing, you know. But the machine they were using wasn't one of the blow into things. I think it was some sort of new one, or at least new to me, that also tested for certain drugs and things as well. He just held this little handheld device in front of my face, you know, about the same size as any other breath tester. Just held it vaguely in front of my face and told me to count to 10. And then told me to go on my way. So that's some cool technology, keeping us safe on the roads from idiots who drive under the influence. I'm going to Google that later and see how it works. Because, yeah, it was just, like, it was further away from my face than I would generally hold a microphone, for crying out loud. So I'm really curious how it works. Anyway, populated area now. Get off camera. Don't get me distracted. Victory is mine. Although that was a bit of a slog. There were 5 different sets of roadworks going on along the path I was taking. So it went slower than it was supposed to go. It was less than an hour drive. Should have been. Wound up taking almost 2 hours. But, you know, it was fine. Had the adventure of being stopped by the cops along the way. But victory's mine. Found the super cheap auto. Got the correct replacement bulbs. Now I have a spare of that too. So now I have 2 spare headlamp ones and 1 spare indicator one. We should be fine. So I am, once again, able to signal my intent clearly. Hooray for safe driving. So yeah, we're approaching, what even, I don't have a clock in here. Right, yeah, coming up on nearly 11 a.m. I still haven't had my hot breakfast, and I am getting hangry. Although I did think I saw a red rooster down the road there, which I thought they were all gone in Sydney. Like there was one in Melbourne. I think that even that's shut now too. So I'm going to see if that's open. I haven't had red rooster in ages. I wonder if it's as good as I remember it being. There's chicken rolls. Oh, chicken and gravy rolls. Ooh. But yes, food. Food, glorious food. I need food. And then I'll find a department store for blankets. They no longer serve the chicken and gravy roll. It wasn't on the menu. That's so upsetting. I was so much looking forward to it. Got this thing instead. It was fine. The chicken was a little bit dry. The coating was good. The bread was really chewy. It was like a baguette, not just an ordinary roll. But did the trick. You know, carbs and protein and tasty stuff. And the chips are good. The chips are good. One mica comforter set, single bed of course, so nice and squishy, looks very, very comfortable. That should do just fine. Hopefully it should do just fine. So indeed, thank you to the person who threw some money at the PayPal, specifically earmarked for warm bedding. Otherwise I would have had to go for something quite a bit cheaper, because it was hard to justify otherwise. This was like 65 bucks. No, wait, 60 bucks. Australian, obviously. If you're doing the math in American, it's not too bad for a comforter like this, for a decent quality comforter with mica. That's what they had anyway. That was the only sort of comforter they had. Everything else was sort of doona inserts and things like that. Doona, how does that translate to American? Quilt, maybe. But yeah, everything else was like doubles and queen size, and would have been unmanageable in the back of the ute here. Ute? Getting too Australian. In the back of the van. So that was the best, pretty much only option. There was one more option that was exactly the same, except it had pink stripes. I wanted the blue ones because the van is blue. But yeah, I'll let you know in the next vlog, I guess, how it felt to sleep in. Or I'll report as I'm going to bed, maybe. Adventurous, hey? exciting vlogs. All I have to do now is decide what's next. Halfway through the day, I suppose I should figure out how far away the campsite is. Maybe just cruise down there and get settled and just relax for the rest of the day. It's been a fairly busy morning. Yeah. Alright, I'm actually just coming through Bathurst. And saw a salvos here. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't regularly frequent or support the salvos. Not because they're bad, just because they're tied in with organised religion, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but it's not like they're evil. So, needs must, and I must check them out. Well, that was a very, very brief trip into the salvos. Had very limited amount of men's clothes. Most of it was just dress pants and a few shirts, neither of which I need. I'm good for shirts and good for dress pants. I was hoping to find some big old baggy track pants or something comfortable to sleep in to help with the chill, but no dice there. Fair amount of kids' clothes and women's clothes, but for whatever reason, very slim selection of men's clothes. Don't know why that would be. Not even any men's outerwear, jackets and stuff like that. Weird. There wasn't even anything interesting in, you know, the scraps of CDs and audio tapes and stuff. You know, you often see people making YouTube videos of going to these thrift stores and stuff and finding these amazing finds and classics and stuff. There was nothing there. That's the crap salvos. Also, on the drive up here. Oh, by the way, on the drive up here. Okay, between, you know, Lithcombe and Bathurst, you got to drive more carefully, people. Like every 500 meters there was another dead roo or something on the side of the road. Just roos and wallabies and one wombat, I think. Hard to tell, just a lump of fur. It was about wombat sized. So much roadkill on those roads. It was horrific, very upsetting. Also very gusty. It was buffeting the van the whole time. Not a very aerodynamic shape sideways, this van. Also, I drove past something I forgot about. Motels. I haven't stayed at a motel since I was a kid on family holidays. I'm going up the sort of east coast of Tasmania. We would stop at motels on the way up to, you know, the destination or whatever. Caravan park usually. But yeah, I don't know whether motels are cheaper than hotels, but at the very least, obviously parking is taken care of. So yeah, I'm gonna Google for the local motels and sort of get some prices. Aside from that, though, there is a campground that people tend to use when the races are happening. If you've heard of, if Bathurst sounds familiar, that's why it sounds familiar. The Bathurst racetrack, one of the biggest events racing-wise in Australia and on the world stage. And I've been there to the racetrack once and saw F1 cars go around and shit like that. There's a video about that. I forget who I came up here with. One of the sponsors, Vodafone or Red Bull, or I honestly can't remember. It was so long ago. It would have been 13, 14 years ago, I think. And I was just, you know, in those early days where the PR companies were just going, hey, the influencers, you know, they were trying to invent the word influencers. Still early days in that. And of course, I was one of the biggest Australians doing the video stuff that they could get their hands on. Much more competition these days, obviously, but of course I was an early adopter with this gig. So yeah, I got to go to Bathurst and see the big loud cars. That was pretty fun. I'll see if I can remember to link that video. I linked a very old video in yesterday's vlog as well for the Blue Mountains, and I'll try and find the one with the race cars in it for this one. But yeah, obviously not racing season right now, and you can tell this is a racing town. There are so many roundabouts. Like every intersection, every crossroads, there's another roundabout just to slow people down. Because you're in Bathurst, the temptation might be to race. That was hilarious. They've also got these 60-degree angle for street parking, which I friggin' hate. I was complaining yesterday that I suck at reverse parking, this big old long wheelbase thing, and trying to do it at 60 degree on the side of the road. I've literally never parked like that before. Not in a car, actually. I parked bike like that, but bike you just walk back. It's easy. This was a bitch. I had to go back and forth a couple times. Don't think anybody was watching, but it would have been very embarrassing. Anyway, don't know what I want to do. I guess we'll find out in the next edit what I did. Did a quick little Google. Motels are, at least in this area, around Bathurst, about $100 to $200 a night, depending, which is roughly the same as a hotel. So the only real difference is car parking. No real advantage to motel budget-wise if I want a room with a real bed and a private bathroom. So yeah, but basically twice the price of what I paid for that campground the other night. So, worth keeping in mind, but I don't think it'll be something I'll be taking advantage of frequently. Feels like a bit of a waste of money, but I guess if I'm starving for a real bed, that's an option I can keep in mind. Wow, there's a fly in the ointment. The free campground that I had intended to go check out for tonight, there's no access to it. Like there's two roads I've just tried. They're both closed off. Apparently for some sort of renovations because of the upcoming races in about a month's time, I think. I'll have to double check that. I think it's about a month away. I thought it'd be fine, but no. There's already some work being done on the track, signs going up and stuff. Because Bathurst is a street track, by the way. I've just literally driven 3/4 of the Bathurst racetrack, just cruise around at 40k an hour, taking it all in. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the temptation to hammer down on the straight was large. The inside voices were just screaming, but you have to know they're monitoring that. There's got to be cameras. So I restrained myself. So yeah, I've just pulled up a little car park kind of thing, which is just outside what would have been the road to one of the campgrounds. I'm just going to get out and stretch my legs for a bit, I think, and then make a new plan. Alright, so I found an alternate plan, a campsite that should be free. There is only 4 spots apparently down by this dam, this artificial lake, this water sports area, I guess. Should be pretty, and hopefully because we're in the off season, there should be a site available. Apparently, yeah, like I said, they're limited to 4, which seems unfortunate, but on my way down, I spot that. Apparently, Google marks it as a tourist attraction. It's just a big concrete gorilla painted green. And not just green, but lime green. Sure, it's not the world's biggest ball of string. Yeah, big green gorilla. How could I resist? Great green gorilla in the middle of nowhere. What is your wisdom?
Bananas are slightly radioactive because they contain small amounts of potassium-40 isotopes. But you would have to eat about 10 million of them in a single sitting to actually die from radiation poisoning.
There is no context anywhere. There's no signage, nothing. It's just a green gorilla in the middle of nowhere on some private property. There's a sign back there saying they've got security cameras and everything to stop people, I guess, painting graffiti on the gorilla, like a big twirly mustache or something. Not that I want to give you any ideas. I don't know what the point is, but I like it. Well, found the campsite. Not quite as pretty as I'd hoped. The dam is just pretty much a boring dam. I was expecting sort of a nature reserve kind of feel to it, considering they go, hey, come here for your water sports and stuff. Also prone to algae, so swimming and fishing, not really recommended. But the little campsite they have here is quite spacious, considering they're limited to 4 sites. although they're not marked. You just park where you want to park, or set up your tent where you want to set up a tent. But one site counts for several tents, or just one van or camper van or whatever. There's already one camper van here, and there's one other guy in a ute who's pulled up there. I think he's just taking a nap. I don't know whether he's going to stay here because it's just a ute. It's not set up for camping or anything. So it might just be the two of us, whoever's in that camper van back there. Haven't seen hide nor hair of them. Couple of minutes stroll away, there is a block of toilets. They are pretty much in exactly the condition you would imagine a set of public toilets in the middle of nowhere next to a campsite being. But at least they're there. Just one toilet, one trough to piss in. No showers or anything. There is barbecue facilities as well. Didn't go up to those because I don't have anything barbecue anyway, but they're probably in reasonably rough shape, I would imagine. But yeah, I've parked underneath some shade here, so we're not cooking in the sun too much. Sunrise, if I can get up in time for sunrise, it should be rising over the dam, I think, which might give me a nice little photograph. So that's my aim for tomorrow morning. But yeah, it's about coming up on 3 p.m. at this point, I think, or 2:30 or something like that. I'm just going to set up in the back, draw the curtains, maybe start editing the video, read a book, watch some cartoons or something. The only computer I have now is my 2020 MacBook Air, which has the M1 chip, which is really efficient for watching videos, which is nice. So I'm not burning away battery just watching videos. While yesterday's vlog was uploading, I should say, I watched K-pop Demon Hunters from my local backup file. And the uploading of the video and watching that whole movie only took about 3% battery from the Mac, so that's pretty sweet. So yeah, I might just chill out doing that tonight. Gonna get pretty hungry. I've just got those breakfast snacks, but that should be fine. Should be fine. I don't know. Tomorrow I might start actually moving south more deliberately towards Melbourne-ish. Don't know. We'll see what the feel is. I remember the thing I forgot, by the way. Remember I said I need to start writing things down? Yeah, socks. I wanted some loose-fitting, big, fluffy socks to sleep in, because the socks that I have are great for walking in. They're nice and cushiony on the bottom and stuff, but they're a bit tight around the ankles, and I can't wear them all night because they give they bite into the skin, give you those little weird bumps. Not very comfortable to sleep in, but I need some bed socks just to keep my feet warm. Although with the new blanket thingy, comforter, quilt, whatever, maybe that might be necessary. But yeah, that's what I forgot for today. Pretty much got everything else that I needed to get done today. Still looking for solar panels for basic USB charging, or at least I'm still looking for solar panels at a decent price. How have they not come down in price already? Solar's everywhere. How are they still so expensive for basic ass silicon solar panels? It's a grift. It's got to be a grift. They're making so many solar panels these days, they should be really cheap. Whatever. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for this vlog, I think. We'll sign off. I'll see you tomorrow. Did I talk about anything interesting today? I don't know if I did. We didn't make any jokes, really. Didn't meet any cool animals. Oh, actually, no, we did meet some animals in the morning. There's birds. And the green gorilla. Right. I don't know. This video might be shorter than yesterday's. I don't think it might be as good. What do you tell me? What do you want to see more of? As we refine or re-refine the art of vlogging that I've lost over the last 15 years of not doing vlog-style videos hardly ever, except for at events, maybe. PAX Aus's coming up, though. Reminder that's one of the reasons I'm heading towards Melbourne. I'm going to be there for PAX Australia. I've already got my Media Pass hooked up, so I don't have my Creator Pass, I should say, not Media Pass, my Creator Pass. So I'm not spending any money on tickets there, so that's sweet. And all I have to do for that is make content, which I would have done anyway. Don't tell them So if you are coming to PAX Australia, Melbourne, second week of October, I'll put the dates here. I forget what the dates are. Yeah, give me a shout out. I'll be posting on Blue Skies social and whatnot. If I'm sort of hanging out at one spot for a while, so we can come say hi, and maybe you guys can buy me a beer. I don't know whether I'll get a hotel or just park somewhere and take a train in. I'll have to find out from my friends how far away they live, and if their places have car parks that I can park in. That might be a plan too. Or find a nearby motel and budget that out somehow. Because I definitely won't be able to park I'm not driving in the city, not Melbourne. I don't want to drive in Melbourne City. Hook turns? All right, people in the comment section, if you're from Melbourne, explain hook turns to everybody else. Hard pass on that, mate. I'm parking somewhere outside of the city and commuting in traditionally style for PAX. Don't want to be dealing with that. But yeah, I don't know if there's any like motels anywhere convenient. Certainly won't be any campgrounds that close. Well, we'll see. That's the future. Look at me, planning for the future. The depression is finally letting up a little bit. Or I'm just still caught up in the novelty and newness and concentration of all the things I have to think about and get done in this new lifestyle. Thanks for watching. Thank you, as always, to the patrons. Thank you especially to those who have been donating through PayPal. And whatever support, however it comes. Even if it's just a comment and a thumb to help the algorithm chew up these videos. Everything helps and appreciated.